Welcome back to The Explainer. We're diving straight into a massive operational mystery today. It's a puzzle that baffles organizations all over the world. Why do highly paid, incredibly hardworking technical teams spend most of their day getting virtually nothing done? I know, it sounds harsh, but the data is undeniable. Unlocking this mystery is absolutely the key to revolutionizing workplace productivity. Here is our roadmap to track down this missing time. We'll look at the productivity paradox, define wrench time, walk through a day in the life, figure out how to measure it the right way, and finally, look at the true cost of delays. Let's get right into it. Look at this number to kick things off. 35%. According to comprehensive industry studies, that is the absolute typical maximum amount of actual direct work happening in standard industry maintenance. Let that sink in for a second. That means a staggering 65 to 70% of a highly skilled technician's day is just lost, completely gone. It's not producing a single thing.
Section 1. The productivity paradox, where the time actually goes.
So nobody goes to work actually intending to waste 7 hours of their shift, right? But if you look at how time is distributed, Category 1, which represents our productive time on the job, sure, it might be the tallest single pillar, but it gets completely swallowed up when you combine all those small, seemingly insignificant delay categories lined up right next to it. Now, what's really fascinating here is the paradigm shift this whole thing requires. This massive block of wasted time, it's not an indictment of lazy technicians at all. Actually, it's a glaring symptom of a poor management planning system. When management and the workforce finally realize that over 70% of time is being eaten by delays, it sparks this incredibly beneficial dialogue. It forces everyone to admit that, hey, better planning isn't just some corporate buzzword. It's an absolute necessity.
Moving on to Section 2. Defining wrench time, the primary clue.
To actually solve this puzzle, we've got to understand a core operational concept. By definition, wrench time is the proportion of available to work time during which craft technicians are not being kept from productively working on a job site by delays. So this isn't about telling people to just work harder or sweat more. It's simply the percentage of time a tech spends executing their job, turning the literal or metaphorical wrench, rather than being blocked by systemic organizational hurdles.
The crucial takeaway here is that a technician's time is literally being stolen by mundane, everyday roadblocks. Think about it. Standing in line for parts, endlessly traveling across a huge facility, waiting on safety clearances, hunting down missing equipment info, or honestly just sitting around waiting for a supervisor to hand out the next task. When a technician is stuck doing any of these things, the job is stalled. The company is basically paying them to handle delays, not to maintain equipment. Section 3. The day in the life. A realistic scenario. It is kind of hard to believe productivity could genuinely be this low across the board. So let's walk through a totally realistic, theoretical, 10-hour shift that was actually submitted by a maintenance supervisor. So our tech arrives, it takes 30 minutes just to get started. Then 45 minutes receiving instructions. They head to the storeroom, but of course there's a line, or a part's missing. Boom, that's 60 minutes waiting for tools. Add 45 minutes of travel time moving around the plant. Factor in 90 minutes for standard breaks, plus a 30-minute lunch. Finally, the day wraps up with 90 minutes for cleanup, showering, and prepping to go home. Listen, none of these are malicious acts of time theft. A few minutes lost here and there just add up incredibly fast before any real work even gets off the ground. When you subtract all those perfectly normal everyday delays from a 10-hour or 600-minute shift, this completely average hard-working technician is left with exactly 210 minutes for actual work. That nets out to exactly a 35% wrench time. This simple breakdown proves that this seemingly shocking industry statistic is, sadly, completely realistic. Section 4. Measuring the right way. Objective observation. Okay, so now that we know exactly where the time goes, how does an organization properly measure this without causing a total mutiny on the floor? Well, you absolutely must use objective statistical observation. This is where an independent observer randomly locates employees over several weeks or months and instantly categorizes their activity. It yields highly accurate results, usually landing right around that 35% mark. On the flip side, look what happens when you ask employees to self-report their time on scorecards. It almost always degenerates into what our source calls an inflated liar's club. It's virtually impossible for a human being to accurately track every minute-to-minute delay, so human nature kicks in and everyone guesses high. Self-reporting often yields absurdly inflated wrench times of 80% or more, and that completely destroys the integrity of the whole concept. Now, If you're going to observe your workforce, you really have to manage the psychology of it. It's vital to communicate to the team that a wrench time study is basically a speedometer for the planning department. Measuring the technicians doesn't actually tell us about the technicians, it tells us about the planning function. It simply measures how well the organization's systems are keeping those technicians on their tools. Make it clear. The goal isn't to punish the worker. The goal is to fix the broken system that's slowing them down. Section 5. The true cost of delays. The financial impact.
Let's translate these percentages into cold, hard dollars and cents. First up, we have to factor in administrative time. A technician isn't available for direct work 100% of their paid time anyway, right? They've got training, meetings, vacations. Let's say those take up 20% of their time, leaving them with an 80% administrative availability. Now apply our standard 35% wrench time to that 80%. Mathematically, that means an employee is effectively executing direct, productive work for a mere 28% of their total paid time. Let's contextualize that 28% with a real-world financial example. Say a technician's base pay is $25 an hour. On paper, that seems like a pretty standard, reasonable rate for the company to pay for skilled labor, right? Well, wrong. Because that employee is only physically repairing equipment or turning wrenches 28% of the time they're actually on the clock. The real cost the company pays for the productive work accomplished skyrockets to an astonishing $89 an hour. This massive multiplier is exactly why contracted repair technicians seem to charge such exorbitant rates. They're just factoring in the reality of these operational delays. But here's the good news, and really the ultimate takeaway from this explainer. This data is incredibly empowering. Once the workforce and management look at these numbers and realize this massive financial bleed together, they can unite to eliminate the delays. Instead of pointing fingers, teams can use this exact wrench time data to justify tangible, real-world improvements. You can prove to the finance department that buying better toolboxes, reorganizing chaotic storerooms, or even purchasing golf carts to reduce daily travel time will pay for themselves instantly by bumping up that wrench time percentage. So, as you reflect on the operational efficiency of your own organization, I want to leave you with one final provocative question. Are you intentionally optimizing your systems for productive, meaningful work, or are you just heavily funding a really expensive waiting line? Think about it, and start looking for your missing time.